Barbara Bruni. Today we have a special show. We have a treat. We have three students who take a body shaping class here at UWF, and they're going to be the exercisers today. So we'll be going over different types of exercises and different modifications. And I'd like to introduce you to our Pilates core training exercisers today. So our first one is Sarah Heath. They're all seniors, and Angela Hobbs and Angela Miller. And they are getting to be pros at Pilates. So we're going to start with breathing. So go ahead and join us. Have a seat on the floor. And let's start by placing our hands on our rib cage, sitting up nice and tall. And take a nice deep breath and inhale. And exhale. So as you breathe like this, you're going to notice that your rib cage moves out to the side and wide. And likewise, as you exhale, the ribs move together and even slightly downward towards the hips. We'll do that 2 more times. As you take a deep breath, you want to keep your shoulders relaxed and down away from your ears. And exhale, ribs move together and down, and the navel draws in and up. And 1 more time. Inhale and exhale. So we're going to take this breathing and incorporate it into our Pilates work. So why don't we go ahead and lie flat on our backs with our knees bent. All of the exercises in Pilates start out with that breathing, and every move we make will use the breathing to organize the core muscles. So let's continue on. So in this position, note they have their feet on the floor and their knees bent. We're going to add to that. As you inhale, go into an anterior tilt. That's where you make a big arch behind your back. So you're going to arc the back, big space. That's it. I can put my whole hand underneath Angela's back. She's got a great anterior tilt, really contracting the back muscles. And now exhale, posterior tilt. Press the small of your back into the mat. Without squeezing your glutes or pressing into your feet, you're going to keep your low back against the mat, really kicking into the abdominal muscles. We'll do that 1 more time just to feel it. Inhale, ribs expand wide to the side, and you'll go into an anterior tilt, big space behind the small of your back in the mat. And then exhale, posterior tilt without pressing your feet into the floor or squeezing your glutes. Really kick in on the abdominals. Now let's find that halfway mark where you can probably fit a finger or 2 underneath the small of your back. So you're not pressed down either way. Almost think of it as a lengthening of the spine. Now we're going to challenge that a little bit. We're going to bring the legs up to a tabletop alignment. And in that position, note that your knees are directly over your hip socket, and you still are maintaining that little space under the small of your back. We're going to dissociate the leg from the hip. So as you exhale, you're going to tap your right foot down to the mat. And what I mean by that, so exhale and tap your right foot down to the mat. The hip doesn't move. The pelvis doesn't rock. Inhale, bring your leg back up. And let's just go in an alternate. So exhale, left leg taps down. And inhale, it comes back up. And just continue on. Exhale down for 6. And inhale up. And as you exhale down, really connect the ribs. That's it. And draw the belly in. So you're going to feel it right here, right in the rib cage as you tap down and up. So if you were going to make an error, I'm going to ask Sarah to do this incorrectly. Sarah, when you tap down, show us how you can lose your core alignment. So let's tap 1 foot down and note how her back would come off the mat. She's lost her abdominal strength here. So bring your leg up. And now do it correctly. 1 more time. Exhale until she keeps that nice and flat, and then bring the legs in and place your feet down to the mat. Nice job. All right, so let's move on here. Let's extend your legs straight out. And we're still going to stabilize the pelvis as we go into some flexion of the trunk. So on the exhale, we'll lift into a upper crunch. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift your head, neck, and shoulders, and then shoulder blades off the mat. Very nice. And then inhale and release. And we'll do that 6 more times. Exhale. First the head lifts and the chin nods. And from there, you lift from underneath the breastbone and inhale and release. And you can let your arms lift up off the mat a little bit. And then exhale, lift and reach. Think that you're reaching your fingers towards your toes and release. You can add on to this. Flex your ankles and really press the bottoms of your feet away and lift as you exhale. Scoop your belly in and inhale and release. So note, they're doing a great job on this, and you may not even have noticed that their pelvis isn't moving. So watch here. As they lift up, go ahead and lift up. They don't drop into a posterior tilt. They're still keeping the small of their back off the mat. And release. And 2 more. And also watch that when you come up on the exhale, that there maintains a little bit of space. So look up just a little bit, Angela. Look up just a little bit. There, a little bit of space between the chin and the chest. How's that feel? And then lower down and rest. That's very nice. All right, let's bring your legs back up to tabletop. And now from here, we're going to go back into the thigh-hip dissociation, or stabilizing the lumbar curve with both legs. So let's point your toes this time. And as you exhale, tap your toes down to the mat. So exhale, just go into a tap down. Now you may or may not be able to tap the mat all the way down, and inhale, come up. Only going as far as you can keep the pelvis neutral. Exhale to tap, and inhale to come up. We'll do 4 more. So exhale down. That looks great. Really pull the belly in and inhale up. So as they do the last 3, I just want to make note. If you find that when you do these, your back starts to hurt, your abdominals have let go of the neutral. Your abdominals just aren't strong enough to hold that yet, and they will get strong enough. But in the meantime, you might want to go into just a slight posterior tilt. Let the low back touch just a little bit, and then eventually you'll be able to do this in neutral. All right, you guys, let's bring your feet all the way down to the mat and extend them back out again. All right, we've talked about finding neutral pelvis, organizing the trunk muscles with the breathing, how to stabilize the lumbar curve, and how to flex the upper body. Now, let's talk about organizing the shoulder girdle. So you guys, let's bring your arms straight up so your fingertips point to the ceiling. Reach up towards the ceiling, and you'll note when that happens, the shoulders come off the mat. The shoulder blades are off the mat, and you're really working into the pec muscles. And then press the arms down into the mat. And you'll feel the chest open wide, and you'll feel a little more organization or a little more recruitment in the back muscles. We'll do that one more time. Reach up towards the ceiling, and then imprint the shoulder blades back down. Now maintain that width across the chest as you reach your arms all the way overhead by your ears. So you're going to reach up by me, Angela. That's it. Good. Now hold those ribs against the mat with the exhale. That's it. And then inhale, bring your arms back up. So let's do that 3 more times. So start with the shoulder blades imprinted and inhale here, elbows straight. And then exhale, reach the arms all the way up by your ears, keeping the shoulder blades on the mat. And on that exhale, you're really going to bring, that's very nice, the ribs down with the obliques. And then inhale up. As your arms come back up, keep the shoulder blades against the mat. 2 more. Exhale. Bring the arms overhead. Slide the breastbone down. Organize the ribs. Excellent. And inhale, come back up, keeping those shoulders down. And last time, exhale. Funnel the ribs. So here, that breathing is so important. Draw the belly button in. And then inhale, bring the arms back up and rest them down by your sides. So you've got a nice feeling of keeping that width across the shoulder blades. We're going to use that into a full roll up. So here we go. We're going to inhale, take the arms up to point to the ceiling. Exhale, reach all the way overhead by the ears as you press the ribs down into the mat. Good, really getting that exhale. Excellent. Then inhale, lift your arms and your head right here. Inhale to lift, and exhale to roll all the way up over your feet. Excellent. Rolling up, those were beautiful. And then reach over your feet and hold that flexion. So in this flexion, you want to feel like you're going in 2 directions. So you're reaching your fingertips and your feet to the wall in front, and then feel like you're pushing your belly button into your back, into bringing it to the wall behind. So that oppositional pull. Now maintain that, and then exhale all the way down. Draw the belly and keep tucking your tailbone under, nice and slow, keeping those shoulders wide. Beautiful job. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhale up, and exhale, reach overhead. Good. Keeping the shoulders wide, the ribs down. Inhale to lift your arms and head, and exhale to soften the sternum, nod the chin, roll up. Good job, and reach over the feet. These are hard to do. And inhale, feel that oppositional pull, and then exhale to lower down. Just a little bit of more ease across the shoulders. Beautiful. Still flexing those ankles. And on the exhale, reach overhead and press the ribs down. So you're exhaling, really kick those obliques in. Inhale to lift. Exhale to roll. And note how nicely their feet stay on the ground. They're rolling up with their abdominals, not their hip flexors. Doing a great job. Inhale. And last roll down. Let's just roll down and hold down. Tuck the tail, pull the belly in, and lower all the way down. That is great. All right, so now let's bring your arms down by your sides and bend your knees. Place your feet on the floor. This position is, we're going to go into a parallel position so that your thighs are running in a straight line. Watch that your knees are not aiming out to the side or you're rolling onto one side or the other of your feet. So to get into a bridge, you're going to start with an inhale and an anterior tilt, big arch behind the small of your back. And then exhale, go into a posterior tilt. Remember not to squeeze your glutes, so press the small of your back into the mat. Aim your tailbone up to the back of your knees, and then continue to peel your tailbone off the mat until you're standing between your shoulders. So your hips come off the mat. Keep lifting up, keep lifting up. That's it. This is your bridge alignment. So ideally, this is your neutral spine. You're holding it in a lot more of a progression. It's a lot more difficult to hold your neutral in this manner. So you're still lifting your hips, pulling the belly in, and funneling the ribs down. So we're not going. So if they were to lose their abdominals, if their abs get tired, then let's show you what that would look like. Let's see, Angela, you're the closest to the film. Just arc your back a little bit here. If she were to let go of her belly, she would be arcing here, and it would all be going into her back. So you want to bring the ribs down and pull the belly in and see how nice and connected in a straight line that is. So that's really nice. So you're really holding. I'm sure you guys are feeling that. Let's lower all the way back down, and we'll do 3, just like that, and we'll add on. So inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt without pressing into the feet yet. So you're really finding the ab muscles. Then they're engaged to roll up. Then you can press into your feet when you're ready to lift the hips. Nice. Inhale at the top. And then exhale. Start by softening the jaw, the throat, the sternum, and then rib by rib comes down. Let your ribs come down first. That's it. And then your low back, and then your hips. And then again, inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Pressing the small of your back into the mat, and then roll up. Press into your feet. Keep your feet flat on the mat, so watch that you're not rolling on the feet. Inhale at the top, and exhale, soften down. Think one vertebra at a time. Really easy. That's it. And last one, we're going to add on. They didn't know we were going to add on, but we're going to add on, so they're all excited now. So inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Pull the belly button in and roll up. Reach your knees long. It's that sense of reaching out the knees, and you'll get out of those hip flexors a little bit. Soften the sternum. Now from here, that thigh-hip dissociation, lift your right foot off the mat, you guys. And when you lift your right foot off the mat, your work is to keep that right leg lifted up, so that right hip lifted up so it doesn't fall. And let's put the right foot down and switch to the other side. Exhale, lift your left foot off the mat. Keep those ribs together in the tail tucking. Nice. And place it down, and one more time each side. Exhale to lift. Exhale so you can tuck the tailbone and pull the ribs down. Really close those ribs a little bit. Yes. And then put the foot down. These are hard. And one more time. And lift the left leg. Good. Keep the hip up. Keep that hip from dropping. Beautiful. And then place it down and roll out of it. That was great, you guys. Let's place your hands behind your thighs. And they get extra credit for that, I'm sure. And we're going to roll up to a complete roll up sitting position. That's it. Wow. That's pretty good on the hamstrings. All right, so let's sit straight up with your legs out in front. So long seat alignment. So they're very flexible, and they're making the long seat look like it's really easy. But this long seat is not an easy position to hold. So if you feel like there's just too much strain in the hip flexors or in the back, but you can always bend your knees a little bit. Sarah, you want to show them what it looks like if you bend your knees? That's it. Then you can sit up just a little bit taller, and you're right up on those sits bones. So your choice in how you want to sit. Perfectly fine to keep the knees bent as long as your spine is straight up and down. So from here, let's take the arms. We'll take them out to this side. I think we have enough room here. So on the inhale, you're going to turn. Let's turn towards the back wall. Inhale and turn into a spine twist. And then exhale back to center. And then inhale and turn into a spine twist the other. That's it. And back to center. That's it. And twist. So note how nicely the spine stays straight up and down. This axis stays vertical. And again, inhale, shoulders easy. So keep that width. Excellent. And back to center. Grow tall. Imagine there's an apple on your head and you don't want it to fall off as you twist. Feet stay together, knees stay together, and center, and last one. And twist, and release it, and shake it out a minute. Bring your arms down to the side. That takes a lot of work. It looks like just a spine twist, but there's a lot of paraspinal activity, a lot going into your back. We're going to add on to that. We're going to go into a saw. So let's separate your feet now, just about maybe shoulder width apart. That's it. And we'll take the arms back out to the side. We're going to inhale and twist towards the back wall. That's it. And then exhale, reach your hand to your opposite foot. So if you're sawing your foot off with your pinky toe. So then you're going to take your vision and look behind you, and lower your back hand just a little bit. That's it. You're going to keep the hips level. That's it. And reach and reach and reach. That's it. So you're going into the spine flexion and a rotation at the same time. Oh, look how much stretch. Oh, look at all that stretch. Okay, so inhale here, and then exhale to roll back up and go the other side. Inhale to twist. Exhale to reach. Good. Inhale, look behind you. Press both hips down into the mat, and then roll back up. And again, inhale to twist. Exhale to reach. Pull the belly in, still getting that oppositional reach, and then roll back up. And inhale, twist taller, taller. It's almost like you're spiraling up. And then reach to your foot. Very nice. Look at your back hand. Inhale, imprint the far hip, and exhale to roll up. And one more set. Inhale to twist. Exhale to reach. Inhale there so you get the nice stretch to the back. And exhale, pull the belly in to roll up. And last one, inhale to twist. Exhale to reach. Inhale there. And exhale to roll all the way up and shake out your legs. We're going to bend the other direction. So let's flip over onto your belly. Legs fully extended out. That's it. So first we'll go into a hip extension and then we'll go into a back extension because those can be really a deceiving type of an exercise. So if you guys wouldn't mind just resting your head on your hands or on your forearms, whatever feels comfortable, let's extend your legs straight out, and wherever they're comfortable, they can either be apart or together. So on the inhale, you're going to slide your shoulders down your back. On the exhale, can't tell what's going on, but they're going to pull their navel up towards the ceiling and reach their legs long, and that engages the hips so that on their next exhale, you guys, let's start with your left foot. On the exhale, you're going to feel like you're floating and reaching out your top leg until your foot lifts off the mat, and then release it down, and then we'll alternate. So exhale, reach long out your right leg, let it float right up off the mat, and release it down. And again, exhale, pull the belly and reach the left leg. It's almost as if you could draw a stripe up the wall behind you and release it down. Relaxing your shoulders, exhale, lengthen the left leg or the right leg and lift and release. So the hips never move. And again, other leg, exhale, reach first and then lift. So watch that there's no movement of the hips and release it down. Let's see, I'm going to ask one of them to do it wrong. The other, let me see, Angela Miller, you're going to go into a version that I want to show what not to do. Okay, so lift one leg up high and keep lifting it to your hip torques. Right here is what I see a lot happening is her hips are off. She's no longer so much in her thigh and her hips and her glutes, but she's all here in the lower back. Now lower your leg, lower your leg, lower your leg. See, now her hips down, and she is isolating the ham and the glute and really getting into that nice strong muscle. So let's place that down, I'm sure, and do one more, you guys. Exhale to lift and release it down. Okay. That's great. So now let's bring your hands so that they're down by your shoulders, elbows by your sides. Going into now a back extension. So on your inhale, remember how we talk about the bug? So if you're looking straight down, there's a little ladybug under your nose and it starts to run away, and you chase that bug in your vision along the floor and up the wall, you get that nice articulation of the upper back. So here we go. Inhale and chase the bug along the floor and up the wall, sliding the shoulders down and wide, going to just where the elbows stay on the mat, and then release it down. That's very nice. And again, inhale, they widen across the shoulders, and just start that gaze up the wall. Very nice. And release it down. Good. So before you go, let's think about exhaling, lengthening the legs so that the pelvis is neutral. And then when you inhale, you for sure are going to, let's go ahead and lift up, access into this area here. So just hold that up, you guys, and just reach longer. So this is where you don't want to feel it. If you're feeling it here, think that you're going to reach a little longer with the feet and a little longer with the top of the head. Yeah. So I would keep the neck a little, so you're not looking up too high, but you've got a nice long radius. Width across the collarbones, really accessing right into between the shoulder blades. This is where you want to feel it. And then lower down. Are you feeling it there, Sarah? And lower down. Let's do two more. So the legs lengthen first so we don't go into the back. And then inhale and lift the shoulders and the chest. Good. And again, I'd look down just a little bit, Angela, so that the neck isn't too hyperflex. That's it. Lift a little higher from here. A little higher, a little higher. Yes, right in here. You're feeling that now. Right in here. Still reach your legs long. So you know she's still in the hips. She's still in the mid upper back, but she's not here. And release it down. And one more time. Really widen across the collarbone and lift on the inhale. Very nice. Reach long through your legs. Little higher, Angela. There it is. And lower down. And let's pull back to child's pose for a minute. Sit back on your heels and stretch that out. So many times we think back extension, and if we're rigid in the rib cage and we're weak in the hip extensors, we hinge right in the middle, right in the small of the back. The idea is to lengthen out of the small of the back and do exactly what they were doing, a real pretty back extension in the thorax behind the ribs and in the hip flexors. And then you can really, you guys feel that in your glutes when you do that hip extension. Yeah. All right, so let's go on to hands and knees, and we'll do some upper body weight bearing. So we'll be right here. All right, so when you're in upper body weight bearing, spread your hands wide and lean a little towards the outside of your pinky. And when you do that, think that you're sliding, that's it, your shoulder blades down your back. Now the tendency is when you get the shoulders right, is to let the back drop into an anterior tilt. So we'll do this a couple of times just to differentiate. So anterior tilt, just like a cat stretch or a cow stretch. You're going to drop the low back. So just like we did on the mat, at this big space between the low back, you're really contracting the back. Now go in just opposite of that. Go into your posterior tilt. Cow, the head drop, that's it. So now everything is rounded here. So you want to be somewhere in between, just like when you're on your back doing dead bug or hamstring arch. So let's level out, you guys, and find your best neutral spine. That's it. So you're going to keep the ribs connected, keep the belly in. That's great. I could put a cup of water right here and it's not going to spill off. Your head is lifted so that your ears are up right over your shoulders. Now, tuck your toes under, and as you exhale, really engage underneath the armpits, underneath the scapula, and lift your knees off the mat just a couple of inches. So exhale to lift, and inhale and release. And exhale, slide the shoulder blades down, connect the ribs, that's it, and lift. And inhale, release, and 4 more. So exhale, get there first, slide the shoulders down, pull the belly in, and lift. And release. And last 2, shoulders, belly, and lift. Looking good. And last 1, exhale, lift, and hold it. Very nice, very nice. And lower down. Now I think, Angela, you have to come out just a little farther, because now we're going to just challenge this just a little bit more. They didn't know that. All right, so take your legs straight out now into a plank position or a push-up position. holding the same neutral. That's it. So your hips are still lifted, your ears are still up over your shoulders, looking good. Your abs are still connected. Very nice. So this is your ideal push-up position. So you're still squeezing those glutes, connected in the shoulder girdle. Awesome. When you can challenge that even more, lift one foot up off the mat and place it down. Good. Still keeping the neck long. And the other leg, pull the belly in, slide the shoulders down, and place it down. And that's enough, you guys. And go down and flip all the way over onto your backs. All right. We're going to end very quickly with one last abdominal exercise, and then we'll do a final stretch, and we'll have to call it a day here. So let's lie flat on your backs and bring your legs to tabletop. Actually, Angela Hobbs, why don't you keep your feet down? Yeah, all right. So here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat and hold. Now pump the arms and inhale here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you might recognize these as hundreds as they exhale for 10. We're only going to go up to about 40, but you can feel free to keep going at home. So note that as they inhale, it's the same inhale. The ribs expand. And as they exhale, the ribs compress. Their ribs are down. That's it. And then you can add on by extending the legs and rest. And you guys, why don't you roll all the way up because we're done. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Sarah, Angela for coming on the show today. And stay tuned for new episodes coming up. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.